Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday and welcome. All right, well, let's get started. So, as we always do, we can take our thumbs and tuck them into our fingers and let our hands rest on our thighs and just take a couple moments to bring our awareness to the three treasures: the Jing, the Qi, and the Shen, in that order. And so, beginning by allowing our awareness to settle into our body and the sensation of our body and the sensation of our alignment within gravity. So, noticing the physical sensations, the weight of our bones, the air against our skin, any areas of discomfort or areas of ease. Just tuning into the denser aspects of ourselves. And you may notice as you settle into your body that your awareness naturally expands to include sensation of your breath moving into and through your body. And so if that has happened, just noticing that, and if it hasn't happened, then inviting an awareness of your breath as it moves into and through your body, into your awareness. Perhaps feeling how the inhalation can help to lengthen your alignment, and the exhalation may bring to your attention places of tension that may exist. And noticing the focus and the quality of the mind. And perhaps noticing how when we bring our awareness to our body and our breath and the focus of our mind, awareness is bringing a stronger, clearer field into these fields, the body, the breath, and the mind. So stronger, clearer fields are amplified fields, and how amplified fields lead to expanded states of consciousness. And just feeling the quality of the expanded state. Each one of these treasures is associated with what's referred to as a dantian, the Jing in the lower dantian, the Qi in the middle dantian, the Shen and the upper dantian. Dantian means an elixir field. And so again, fields of energy interacting with and within fields of energy. So attention and intention helps to bring in a stronger, clearer field. And the expanded state, that may be the elixir that's referred to in these elixir fields. And so, while maintaining an awareness of our three treasures and an awareness of this quality of the expanded state, let's bring our hands together and just gently rub them together. And we can take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, shake it out. And then you can rub the palms together again. We'll do an abbreviated self-massage this morning. So let's begin by massaging our faces, up and out, or whichever way feels best to you. And then we can, from here, just bring the hands up and over the top of the head, and you can run your fingertips over your scalp, front to back or back and forth, or any other way that feels good. And then down the back of the neck, taking your time as the hands move down, and then dragging the hands around the neck to the front. And then we can massage over our chests, our upper chests, and working our way down over the sternum, and then to the belly, and around the waist to the low back, and the kidneys. And then we can pull our hands out, shake them out. And rubbing the palms together, breathing. And then you can tuck your thumbs back into your fingers. Let your hands rest back on your thighs. And again, just take a moment to bring awareness to the body and the shape and the alignment of the body. To the breath and the rhythm and the movement of the breath. And the mind and the focus and the quality of the mind. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Okay. So, hello again. Thank you again for being here. So, last week we did some Tai Chi as Qigong, and I wanted to check in and see if there were any questions about anything that we did last week. Okay. Well, and we'll continue on with that a little bit today as well. You know, for our practice, we'll do some Tai Chi as Qigong, reviewing what we did last week, and then also building on that as well. So last week we did Tai Chi as Qigong, standing in place and with a weight shift. And so today we can review again what we did, and then we can also introduce a little bit more as far as not just a weight shift, but an even a stepping from side to side. And so in this way, it can just add another little bit to work with. It can challenge our balance a little bit. It can help to facilitate proprioception. It can help to strengthen some of the smaller muscles around the hips and the knees and the ankles as we're moving from side to side, and also helping to build neuroplasticity in that calm and relaxed type of way. Last week we went through 5 movements, and so we'll do those same 5 this week, but we're also going to introduce one more. And it's one that I haven't actually ever taught before, just because, you know, it's a little complex, but not very complex, and it's really fun. So we'll add that one in today as well. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that today, Wednesday, February 17th, is the first of the second phase of spring. So we're kind of moving right along. And the name of this phase of spring is called rainwater. Although I think it's probably more like snow falling most everywhere, and which is good. But the theme, so, you know, the last phase, the last seasonal node was called the start of spring. And the theme for that was just kind of dwelling in emptiness. It was like standing in front of the blank canvas and not even really doing anything with the blank canvas other than just kind of, you know, reveling in all of that potential that exists. So with rainwater, as we move a little bit further into this season of spring, the theme is visioning. So again, it's still not like we're not making any strokes on the canvas yet, not putting paint and brush to canvas, but more just allowing the visions of what might show up on the canvas to begin to emerge. So like kind of dwelling in the empty space is where we've been. And then this is about what is arising out of that. So, you know, we've been in kind of that nothingness, the absolute, and out of nothing arises something. And so this is a great time of year to think about visioning, you know, and even if it's snow falling or, very cold or, rainwater. This is, if it's raining, we typically would be a little hunkered down. And so that's the idea of going inward and allowing ourselves to go inward into that emptiness to then allow a vision to arise out from there. And one of the things that I really appreciate about the whole visioning process is the vision doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what it is that shows up. The vision is like no holds barred. We're not bound by the constraints of reality and logistics and how things will actually play out and what can and cannot work or happen. The vision is just the vision. It's boundless. And so an example of this, and so the vision helps us to kind of get the flavor or the frequency of, what may actually end up happening. And so again, an example of this might be if someone is visioning and the vision for their life is that they want to live on the moon, but living on the moon might not actually be possible because maybe they're not an astronaut and they don't have, or they're not, friends with Elon Musk or whoever, and they don't have a way of getting to the moon, let alone like living on the moon. But it gets them in touch with this flavor that then leads to perhaps them like spending more time sleeping outside under the stars and being in contact with that type of energy. So, we can see how the vision is different than what ends up happening, but there is a similar type of flavor there. It gives us an opportunity to really just feel into what it is that is arising within us, so that then we can recognize it or recognize that similar sensation, that similar frequency when it shows up in our lives. So again, that's the theme for this seasonal node. And if you want to spend any time doing that, then please feel free. It's a wonderful time of year to do that. Okay. So that's enough about that. So what we can do again for our practice before we move into the Tai Chi as Qigong, we'll do a little bit of warm-ups. We'll do the Qigong warm-up and we'll do a little bit of standing self-massage. And then we'll get into this practice of Tai Chi as Qigong. And so let's do that. And again, for our practices, for this practice especially, you can stand, you can remain seated, you can do whatever works for you. And also, just so everyone knows, as we're going along, and even if I'm standing back here and we're going through our practice, if something is unclear or if a question comes up that needs answering, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. That is okay. So nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so let's again find a comfortable position, whether you're seated or standing. If you're seated, I would recommend that you sit near the end of your chair so that your sits bones are making firm contact with what you're sitting on. And if you're standing, just really tuning into the sensation of the bones of your feet making contact with the ground. I always like to lift my toes when I begin with awareness in my feet. I lift my toes off of the ground so that I can really feel my big toe mound. It's like all my weight is just kind of pouring into the big toe mound. And then I can relax in, maintaining contact with my big toe mound. I then settle into my heels. And I can feel those 2 points of contact that are more on the inside of my foot. So then I bend my knees a little bit and I relax, and I can feel the outside edges of my foot then settle into the ground as well. And sometimes when I do that, I get a nice little adjustment in my lower back that happens spontaneously. So soft knees, solid contact through those 3 points on the feet. And then my toes relax. And I notice in this posture, like my legs are working. I can feel the muscles of my thighs turned on and active. And it's not stiff. It's almost like it's like this ready position. It's like I'm relaxed, but I'm engaged. And like if I needed to jump, I feel like I could easily. So feeling this solid contact stable activation in the lower body. And then tuning into the awareness of the hips and the pelvis. Maybe playing with the tuck of your pelvis as you breathe, finding a place that feels comfortable. You know, in a lot of martial arts and Tai Chi and Qigong classes, they talk about tucking the pelvis forward. And when I see people doing this, it seems like it's structurally unsound. You know, like a lot of times they say, tuck your pelvis, and you're standing like, you know, like this. And that just doesn't seem to make any kind of sense, because it's like drawing you forward and you're all hunched over. And really, you know, there should be a natural curve in the lower back that would naturally be there if we weren't doing anything. And what I feel they're referring to when they talk about tucking the pelvis is really just bringing an awareness into our abdomen between the pubic bone and the belly button. And so when you just kind of firm this area up, whether it's actually firming up the musculature or even if it's just bringing intention and awareness into the area to make it firm, I feel like that's what helps to engage the core, to engage the lower dantian, and it doesn't throw your alignment all out of whack. So again, just allowing the pelvis to be free, to not tuck too far forward, to not tilt too far back, to find that nice middle ground with a little bit of tone in the lower abdomen. Just a little bit of an awareness there. And then out of the pelvis, the spine rises up. And then there might be a spontaneous breath into the rib cage as the chi moves into that area. And allowing the breath to bring your awareness into your ribs, especially the sides and the back of the rib cage, because these are areas of the rib cage that we don't necessarily pay a lot of attention to all the time. And the sides and the back of the lower rib cage are where the diaphragm is. And the diaphragm is a very major muscle in our body. There's a lot of tension that's often held in the diaphragm that we're not aware of. And so if we can be aware of the back of the rib cage, especially the lower back of the rib cage, and breathe into that area, the sides and the front of the rib cage will just go right along with it. They'll get carried along with the flow. There's a whole institute known as the Postural Recovery Institute that focuses a lot on posture and focuses a lot on the diaphragm and on breathing, and especially breathing into the backside of the body. So breathing into the backside of the body, really, that in itself is a practice. It's something that you might think about several times a day and just try to take a few breaths into the backside of your body. Try to make that the habit, make that the norm of your breathing. And so from the rib cage, allowing awareness to move into the shoulder blades, and maybe just gently drawing the shoulder blades towards each other on the back of the body to feel that engagement of the back muscles. Still breathing into the backside of the body, so finding that balance of engagement of those muscles, but not in a way that then restricts the backside of your body and your breath. So it's not a clenching, it's just an intention or a tone. And that tone in the backside of the body then helps the front side of the body to open and relax across the upper chest, across the collarbones, where so many of us are pulled a little bit forward and down. And so seeing if we can get the shoulder blades to move slightly towards each other. The collarbones can then open and spread, and then there's all this room to breathe in our chest. There's room for our hearts to beat. There's room for us to just be, to feel, to notice. And then continuing on up the neck into the head, and inviting just a very gentle tuck to the chin so that you can feel a stretch down the backside of your neck and a stretch down in between your shoulder blades, and perhaps a stretch all the way down to your tailbone, maybe even all the way down to your heels, so that you can breathe from your heels to the top of your head and from the top of your head to your heels. And so in this posture, we are introducing stronger, clearer fields of attention and intention into the field of our body, which then can make us aware of the field of our breath in new and interesting ways. And the field of our breath and our body can then become the focus of the field of our mind. And we can feel that quality of expansion, whether that's the literal expansion that's happening in our structure, in our tissues as we breathe, whether that's an expansion of our awareness because we are becoming more aware of our experience. So now let's move a little bit. So you can let your hands float forward, and then you can bring them around behind you, squeezing your shoulder blades together, opening the chest, and then relax. Just let the hands float down. Your knees can bend as much as is needed. And then inhale, sweep your arms up, stretch. And exhale, just let the hands float down. Breathing naturally, letting your hands come to rest, palm down at the level of your belly. Knees are bent, elbows pointing back behind you, shoulder blades gently engaged. And then on your next inhale, inhale and press down through your hands. Reach up through the top of your head, long legs, strong body. And exhale, relax. The knees bend, the arms float up. We'll do this a couple more times. So inhale. Stretch through your wrists, press down through your feet, tuck your chin, stretch the back of your neck, and then let go. Couple more times. Inhaling. Feel the stretch, fill yourself up like a full balloon, and then relax. Bending the knees, and then pressing through the feet and the hands, inhaling. Long, strong, and relax. One more time. Inhale. Stretch. Exhale. The hands can float back down to the level of the belly button. Bring your hands on either side of your waist. Elbows pointed back behind you. Knees can be nice and bent. And then beginning by sending your hips back so your upper body naturally hinges, and then you can just press through the heels of your hands just as far as is comfortable, reaching down through your heels, maybe lifting your toes off of the ground so you get a nice stretch to the back of your legs. And then bend the knees, roll yourself up to stand. Hands back by the sides of the hips. And again, hips back, inhale, stretch, hold at the top of the stretch. Exhale, bend the knees, roll yourself up. And repeat. Hips first. Heels of the hands pressing down through the heels of the feet. Bending the knees and exhale to roll up. A couple more. Just moving as much as feels comfortable. No need to overextend. Reach through your fingertips. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Exhale, rolling yourself up. Let your fingertips turn up and back, and the hands can float out. And then down, palms back to back. Inhale, roll yourself up. And exhale, the arms out to the sides, palms facing each other. Your elbows can be bent or straighter, not blocked. Just finding what works for you. And hanging out here. Soft knees. If your shoulders are up by your ears, see if you can let them relax. And breathe. Breathe into the space in between your armpits and the top of your hip bones. Into the sides of your body. On an inhale, press through the backs of your hands and stretch further away. And then exhale, relax. The hands can move closer together, the knees can bend. Let's do that again. Inhale and stretch. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Let the hands move closer together until you're holding something about the size of a soccer ball. And then take this ball and point it at your lower dantian, at your belly button. Middle fingers and ring fingers pointed at the belly button. The arms can be hanging right by the sides of the body, knees bent, chin a little tucked, shoulder blades gently engaged towards each other. And as you're standing here, maybe lift your toes. Remember those 3 points of contact. Big toe mound, heel bone, outside edge of the foot. And just feel what this feels like. When I'm doing this, sometimes because of an old injury, it feels like my right knee wants to fall in like this. And so I just become aware of that. It makes me more aware so that I can bring more intention to the outside of my foot so I can lift through the inside of the ankle. You may have a similar experience somewhere else in your body. So just noticing those places, allowing this posture to make you more aware of yourself and to help you to turn those areas on that need a little extra juice. And then when you're ready, on the inhale, let your arms float up. And then exhale, the hands come around, the knees can bend. Let your middle fingers and your ring fingers point to the backside of the lower dantian. So you may need to bend your knees a little bit more, maybe squeezing the shoulder blades together. It may bring your chin up a little bit. And so if that's happening, see if you can bring your chin down. Get a nice stretch through the back of your neck. Notice where your weight is in your feet. Are you more in the balls of your feet? Are you more in your heels? See if you can find a middle place in between the two. Breathe in. And as you're ready, you can inhale. The hands can float up through the kidneys and come around to the side of the body. Now the middle fingers and the ring fingers pointed towards the sides of the body. So not too far forward. Elbows still directed towards the back. Back of the body still engaged and strong. And on the next inhale, if you'd like, you can inhale and rise off of your heels. And then exhale, the hands can go forward. And then relax. Inhale the arms out and up. And exhale, middle fingers and ring fingers to the third eye. And again, taking a moment to relax here. Tuck the chin, slight bend in the knees. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. If they're up here, just notice that and see if you can relax them. Tucking the chin will help. Remember to breathe. On your next inhale, inhale and open the third eye. Exhale out to the sides. And then inhale back up. And exhale, middle fingers and ring fingers to the top of the head. Bai Hui, the crown chakra. Again, tucked chin. Slightly bent knees. Notice your feet. Where is the weight in your feet? Where is the breath moving in your body? What is the focus and the quality of your mind? And then you can let the hands float over the midline, down in front of the face, and then coming to rest in front of the heart center. Middle fingers and ring fingers directed towards the heart. Allowing the elbows to be heavy, allowing the thumbs and the index fingers to be weightless. Similarly, feeling the weight sinking down into the earth, and at the same time, the weightlessness floating up, out of Bai Hui, out of the top of the head. I read somewhere that said, when you consider gravity from a broad enough perspective, everything is just floating. So finding that quality of weighted weightlessness. And then you can press the back of your palms into each other and roll them together. You can turn the fingertips down, sending the hands down over the lower dantian, folding the hands over the belly button, relaxing. And then you can draw your hands around your waist and down. And then we can just relax and shake it out a little bit. However feels good to you. It can be little shakes, it can be big shakes. You can bounce off of the ground. It doesn't have to be too big though. Just do what feels good, just as a way of shaking it through. Taking some deep breaths as you do. Maybe shaking it out through the legs a little bit. And then let's just pat with one hand. I'm making a soft fist, just kind of patting underneath one collarbone and then down along the side of the sternum. And switch sides. And then both hands kind of coming down on either side of the sternum, up and down. So like a gorilla. And then down to the lower ribs, maybe opening up the hands into soft palms, to the belly, and around to the low back. And then to the hips, and down the legs, up the front, and again around and down, and then back up. Good. So let's return to a comfortable standing posture. Just take a moment to feel the effects of what we've just done, to breathe through your body. Maybe feeling some tingling in the palms, maybe some tingling in the cheeks. We're making medicine for ourselves as we do this. We're calming our nervous systems, which help to calm down inflammatory immune responses. As the nervous system calms down, the immune system can stabilize and optimize. We're breathing deeply. We've moved in a way that helps to relax tissues that are sometimes tight. So as we breathe, the breath gets into the blood, and the blood can be carried to more places in our body to nourish more tissues, more cells. Our lymph system, which is essentially the superhighway of our immune system, where our immune system lives, functions, flows more efficiently the more relaxed we are. When we're tense and tight, the lymph isn't circulating. We're not eliminating toxins. We're not moving stuff through. So when we're moving in gentle, rhythmic ways, relaxing our nervous systems, relaxing the body, again, we're enhancing lymphatic circulation, which is another way of saying optimizing our immune systems, optimizing our waste elimination systems. So now let's do some Tai Chi as Qigong. So you can relax, take a step out so you have a slightly wider stance, maybe shoulder width or wider than shoulder width. And then let's inhale, and the arms can float out to the sides. And then exhale, bring the couch hand on top, the dresser hand underneath. So here's the couch, there's a dresser. So now we know which side is which. And then let's inhale, arms out to the sides, and then exhale, couch hand underneath, knees can bend, and just find a rhythm here. So inhaling, getting full, getting wide and big, and then exhaling, settling in, softening the knees, finding this Tai Chi with our arms, and then inhaling and exhaling. The palms facing each other. Knees bending, inhaling, legs can straighten, arms can extend, and then exhale. One more time. So next movement, let's inhale. The couch hand floats up, the dresser hand floats down. And then exhale, back to the ball. And then inhale, dresser hand floats up, couch hand floats down. And exhale. So just like this, very simple. And inhaling, the hand that floats up, the palm is up. The hand that floats down, the palm is down. And then as we exhale, the palms turn towards each other. And they're ready to go the next direction. So palms pretty much stay where they are. One hand floats up, one hand floats down, and then back to the ball. Let's weight shift. So inhale, couch hand floats up, weight shifts to the couch leg. And back to the ball. Other side, inhaling, dresser hand floats up, weight shifts to the dresser leg. Back to the ball, dresser hand on top. Just moving like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Maybe there's a little rotation that happens naturally. Just allowing that to happen. Exhaling. Again. And again. Next movement, couch hand drops the ball, the dresser hand falls, and then the couch hand comes up and lays almost flat, and then comes across the front of the body. And as it does, it's like meeting resistance, like moving through water, so the palm faces up. And then lower hand picks up the ball, and then we can drop it. And the dresser hand comes up and over and then moves through like water. Palm up, lower hand picks up the ball. Lower hand drops and coming across. Lower hand picks up the ball and then it drops it and sweeps out and up. And as this upper hand is coming across, you can see the lower hand, the palm is towards the body and turning. So it's not just hanging limply, it's still engaged. And picking up the ball and drop. And picking up the ball and drop. One more time, the lower hand picks up the ball and then drops it. And a weight shift. Now the couch hand, the lower hand, sweeps up to cross. The dresser hand is closest to us, so it just floats down and then out to the side, and then send it forward like a karate chop. Yeah. And then the couch hand floats off to the side and forward. And there can be a weight shift here, moving as the hand moves out to the side, just following it with the body, just the natural momentum of our weight carrying us along. One more. This time, the dresser hand sweeps around and it crosses. So now we're going to introduce a new movement. We haven't done this one before. It's called stroking the phoenix's tail, which is a lovely name. So the dresser hand is out front. And we'll do this several times, so don't worry if you don't get it the first time. I don't think you're supposed to. So dresser hand is out front. So we're going to open that out and let both hands just come down to the side. And like we're picking up a net and tossing a net out to sea. Throw the net out and then stroke the phoenix's tail, coming down and across. And now the dresser hand comes to the inside of the couch wrist and turn like you're pushing something away from you. And when you get to about here, then this dresser hand can come on top of the wrist so that then you can roll back, the hands can come up, and then like you're pushing someone off of you. And then couch hand sweeps around to the front. And we're back to the beginning, other side. So the couch hand opens out, both hands come down, and like we're picking up a net, throwing it out into the ocean, and then stroking the phoenix's tail. Take the couch hand to the inside of the dresser wrist and push away from you. And then the couch hand is on top, and roll yourself back. And then push down and then up. And the dresser hand comes out front. So again, dresser hand opens and throw the net in the ocean and stroke the phoenix's tail. And then dresser hand inside of the wrist, push. Dresser hand on top, and then roll back and push down and then away. Couch hand in front. Opening the couch hand, picking up the net, throwing it in the ocean, and then down the phoenix's back and press away from you. Couch hand on top and then roll back and down and away. And again, dresser hand on top. I'm going to get a little closer. So dresser hand opens and then toss the net, stroking the tail. And here's what I'd like you to see. So pressing across the body until you get to about here, and then the dresser hand comes on top. And then pull back so the hands are next to each other now. And then down and away. And then couch hand is in front. Opening with the couch hand, pick up the net, throw it into the ocean, stroking the phoenix's tail, and then couch hand on the inside of the wrist, and turn and press, and then the couch hand rolls on top, and then you can draw back and down and away and back together. So let's do one more on each side. Dresser hand opens and then cast the net and stroking the tail. And this can be very light. You can go deep with it, as deep as you want. And then dresser hand presses, pushing, dresser hand on top, and then draw back and push down and away. Last one, couch hand in front. Opening with the couch hand, pick up the net and toss it into the ocean, stroking the phoenix's tail, and then press, couch hand on top, roll back, and down and away. And again, dresser hand on top. Now, Transition. We know where we're going now, so we're gonna part the clouds. We'll let the dresser hand come down in front, and then it floats up, and both hands come across. So watching clouds pass, switching the hands, and across, and switching, and across. Taking your time, it's like we're drawing a square that over time becomes more like a circle. Or maybe drawing a rectangle that over time becomes more like an oval. And then the next time that your hand comes in front of your face, you can sweep the other hand up to cross. And then let's open the arms out to the side, and we can gather from the earth. And opening out to the side and gathering from the sky. And again. One more. Exhale, relax. And then sweep the arms out and up, step the feet a little closer together. And then exhale. Let the hands come down to just rest by the sides of your body. Okay. So, do we feel the neuroplasticity working with that new movement? Is everyone doing okay as far as that movement goes? Yeah, it's just like we can just kind of practice it more and more, and it'll become a little bit more natural. But again, I think the main thing, the movement itself is pretty straightforward, you know, where we're starting like this, we open out to the side, it has a nice momentum like all of these movements do, where we flow down, and then again, just pressing with the inside of the hand. And the tricky part, I think really the only tricky part, from the side, it's like this. If we're coming to the side, the hand comes on top, and then when we roll back, they separate. And then pressing down and a little bit up, and then coming back in. And then again, other side, so we can go to this side, tossing the net, stroking the phoenix's tail, and then pressing away from us, and then the hand comes on top, and then they separate, and down, and away, and then back in. And then we can just keep going like that. So it's a really lovely movement. I mean, sometimes I find myself just doing this one movement for a really long time, because you can really work with it. You know, so if we're starting here, so my couch hand is out front. So we're going out to the sides, and you can make this just, you know, you don't even have to go very far, just that far, and then right back down, and then forward, and away. So it's a small movement. Or, you know, dresser hand out front, you can toss the net and get a big long stretch through your body, and then stretch down as much as you'd like to go, and then press. And the thing with the pressing is when you get to about here, you know, you don't want to get to there and then do the arms, because that's a little too far. But you press to about there, and then the hands go the rest of the way. And then you can come back and down and up and then back in. So like with any of these movements, you can really play with it. You can make it a very small movement. You can make it a very big movement. You can get a lot of stretch and length. You can, you know, go slow. You can go a little faster, and it has its momentum that carries you along, and it can be really fun. Okay, so let's go through that series again, but this time we're going to introduce the weight shift, or I'm sorry, not just the weight shift, but the step. And the step only happens with the first two movements. the last three movements, the last four movements, we're standing in place. So there's that, okay? So let's go back to the beginning. And again, maybe a little shake, just kind of clearing the slate. Big inhale. And exhale. And again. So let's have our feet a little closer together to begin with. And we're going to ease our way into it, nice and easy. So we'll bring our hands into Diamond Mudra, one hand folded on top of the other, thumbs touching. And we can take a nice breath in. And then exhale, soften the knees. On the inhale, let the hands sweep out and step out towards the couch. And then the exhale, the hands circle back to the lower dantian, the dresser foot steps in. And then inhale, arms out, stepping out towards the dresser. Exhale, coming in. So just practicing the step. It doesn't have to be a big step, inhaling and then exhaling. Back the other way, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now on this inhale, stepping out towards the dresser, arms out wide. Exhale, couch hand underneath, couch foot steps in. And then inhale, arms out wide, stepping out. Exhale, dresser hand and foot come in. And again, it can be a small step. Inhale, exhale. Other way, inhale, exhale. If you want to try a slightly bigger step, feel free. Inhale, exhale. Harmonizing the hand and the foot, the movement and the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. So the first movement. So we inhale, couch hand floats up, stepping out. Dresser hand floats up, couch hand floats down, and then pick up the ball, step in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So there's a little rotation that just happens naturally. Inhaling, exhaling. One more each side. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale. Next movement. To make this work, we need to turn the ball over. So let's flip the ball. So the dresser hand is underneath. And now drop the ball. Step out towards the couch. The dresser hand floats up, laying flat, and then comes across the body, and the palm turns up. And as the dresser foot steps in, the couch hand picks up the ball. And then drop the ball. Stepping out, couch hand floats up and across. And then the couch foot and the dresser hand pick up the ball, stepping in. And again, drop the ball. Stepping out, weight shift. Pick up the ball as you step in. Other side. Picking up the ball and dropping the ball. Just relaxing, letting the movement be a meditation, picking up the ball. Nice and easy. There's no hurry. Going slow is encouraged. Feel what's happening. Picking up the ball, stepping in. One more on each side. Stepping out. Weight shift. Stepping in, pick up the ball. One more, drop the ball. Stepping out. Weight shift, hold here. The dresser hand sweeps up. So now the couch hand is closest to us, so it's going to flow down and then out to the side and then send it forward. And the dresser hand floats out. So if you'd like, you can follow the momentum to the point where the opposite foot may even come off the ground. So a weight shift. Just letting the momentum of your arm carry you out to the side and up, and then back to center. So if you want to bend your knees a little more as you come down, that's a nice way of working out your thigh muscles and your glutes. So we are getting a workout here. And this time the couch hand sweeps around in front, back to the cross. So now we're done walking in place. So now let's stroke the phoenix's tail. Couch hand is out front, so it opens, and we go to that side to pick up the net, and we toss it off out into the ocean, and then down the phoenix's back, and then press. And when you get to about here, the couch hand comes on top. You can reach out and then roll back. And the hands can come down like you're pushing off something, pushing it away, and then back in. Dresser hand is in front, so to that side, we throw the net and down and press. Dresser hand on top, roll back, and send it away, and back in. So there's a nice momentum here that's happening, following the rhythm, away, and down, and away, and then back, and down. Dresser hand in front. See, we've shifted this way, so we can only shift back. And now we can only shift back this way. And there's nowhere else to go but down here, and nowhere else to go but back across. Until we get so far in one direction, we have to come back the other direction. So Tai Chi, harmonizing yin and yang. So far here, that we go back this way. So far here, we go back this way. And so far here, we go down. So finding the balance and the harmony within yin and yang, left and right, up and down. One more on each side. Dresser hand opens, throwing the net, and down. You can make the movement big or small, and pressing across the body, dresser hand on top, rolling back and down. One more time, couch hand in front, shifting the weight, throwing the net, coming back down, and then press, rolling back, and like you're a kung fu master taking a group of 20 people and just sending them across the room. And then dresser hand in front. And now let's open and part the clouds. The dresser hand can come down across the body. And then it floats up as the couch hand floats down and both hands come across. And switch. And shift. And switch. And shift. So watching clouds pass. Take your time. You might even need to catch your breath from that last movement a little bit. So taking it easy. And then the next time that your hand comes in front of your face, whichever one it is, sweep the lower hand up. And then open both arms out to the side. And let's gather from the earth. Inhaling up. Exhale, relax. Inhale. Exhale down as we gather the sky, and then inhale from the earth. Inhaling up. Exhale, relax. Inhale, gathering the sky. Exhale. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale. And as you exhale, just let your arms float down and come into Wu Ji posture, or tree stance, or horse stance. So standing, soft knees, elbows heavy, shoulder blades engaged towards each other, chin slightly tucked, and let your arms just float like you're hanging onto a beach ball that's floating in the water, and your lower body is just hanging. And then we'll take a big breath in together. And exhale. Inhale the arms out and up. Step your feet a little closer together. And then exhale. Let your arms relax by your sides. Let your eyes close. And just take a moment. Feel the beating of your heart, the pumping of your blood and your lymph, deep from the core of your body all the way out into the periphery. All of this nutrient-rich, warm blood circulating out to the tips of your fingers and your toes, to the top of your head, and everywhere in between. You might even feel a little tired, maybe a little winded. We mentioned last week, research has demonstrated that doing Tai Chi or Qigong the way we just did is an equivalent to running, to jogging. We get the same cardiovascular benefits and the same muscular benefits in our legs and in our core and in our shoulders. But we didn't have to go outside into the cold or the rain or the ice. We got all of that benefit, and we stayed relaxed in an expanded meditative state. We've generated medicine for ourselves. And since we have all of this medicine pumping through our entire body, let's rub our hands together and then wherever you need some medicine on your body, please feel free to use your hands and direct the medicine to that area. And you can rub, you can just touch, you can squeeze, you can tap, wherever you feel you need it. Where I need my medicine is different than where you need your medicine, so please feel free to go wherever you feel is appropriate. And that may be an area of the body, that may be where an organ is or a joint, that may even be where there's some emotions that feel lodged or stuck. So distribute the medicine. And once we distribute the medicine in a specific kind of way, then we can do it in a more general kind of way. So let's rub our hands together. And then let's massage our faces. And then back and forth over our heads. And then let the hands come down the back of the neck, around the base of the neck, under the collarbones and under the armpits, and then down the back of the body, up the front of the body, and then out both arms. Take your palms to face you, and again, over your head, down the back of your neck and around, under the collarbones and the armpits, and down the backside of the body, backside of the legs, up the front of the legs, over the belly and the chest, out the arms, palms face you. One more time, over the face and the head, down the back of the neck, around the base of the neck, under the collarbones and the arms, down the back side of the body, up the front side, to the chest, and then out the arms. Turn the palms to face you, and then turn them up, stretch, and exhale. Let's take another big breath. Inhale, and exhale. One more. And then let's just bounce a little bit. You can take some big deep breaths. You can do some audible exhales, some sighs of relief. You can do some blithers if you'd like. And then shaking a little bit more, maybe a little faster. And then stop. Big breath in. And exhale. And again, breathe. Feel. Feel the medicine being conducted through your whole body. There's a lot of talk nowadays about medical Qigong, which traditionally was called Qigong. Now it's a marketing device. I will tell you the secret of medical Qigong. It's what we just did. First, you turn on the medicine. How do you do that? You practice Qigong. And then you distribute the medicine the way we just did, by touching areas of the body that might need some extra support, and also by touching the whole body, by tracing the meridians the way that we did, helping to conduct blood and lymph flow through all of the tissues, all of those tissues which are supercharged with oxygen and endorphins and choline-based neurotransmitters that get turned on by practicing Qigong. So you turn on the medicine, you distribute the medicine, and then you spend some time doing what we're doing right now, which is just basking in medicine, being medicine for yourself, for your community, for the rest of the universe. Good. Let's rub our hands together. Massaging the face up and down, back and forth over the top of our heads, down the back of the neck, around, over the chest, to the belly, around the waist to the lower back. We can draw our hands out, shake them out, and then pat up one arm, and then down, up the other arm, and then down, and then around and down, back up the front, and again, around and down, and back up. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we just did? All clear? Okay, great. Well, so yeah, let me know if you'd like a recording of this video to practice. And also, again, just to reiterate, all Qigong is medical Qigong. You can find online or in books about medical Qigong about how there are specific forms that are good for specific conditions. And that's true, but that doesn't mean that that's the only form that's good for that condition. All forms are good for all conditions. Turning on the medicine by doing any kind of Qigong practice or yoga practice or meditation practice, an awareness practice that brings us into an expanded state, that's going to turn on the medicine. And then the benefit of the movement is that it does open up and relax the tissues, and it gets the blood pumping and the lymph flowing and more oxygen into those blood tissues so that they're getting to places. And then you can direct them to places with your hands, with your awareness. You can touch, you can pat, you can tap, you can squeeze, whatever it is that feels appropriate to you. And then you can do it specifically, and then you can do it generally. And that is medical Qigong. That is something that we're all capable of doing. You don't need a special training that costs thousands of dollars. You don't need to have some guru who's going to want your, undying devotion for the rest of your life, even after they're dead. You can do it yourself. We're all capable. We are all our own masters. And this is what we can do for ourselves. And again, when we're empowered to do this, living in an empowered way, that reverberates out. And that helps to support the empowerment of everyone else. So it's free. It's easy. We can do it anytime we want. So yes. So thank you for participating, for practicing with me, for contributing this practice to our communities and the universe around us. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. And I will see you next week. Thank you.